Is it actually possible to change ourselves? Can a finger touch itself? Can an eyeball look at itself? This is a question that I've been pondering because, I've spent the last probably 12 years pursuing personal development, spirituality, improving myself, healing, growth. And, I recently just looked back in one of my old journals from about 8 or 9 years ago, and I read through it. And I realized something very strange, that I really hadn't changed all that much. I was the same person back then that I am now. I had the same ideas. I had the same goals, the same dreams, the same ambitions, the same values. But the one thing that was different from back then than from now, even up to about a year and a half ago, the difference was that I was suffering way more back then than I am now. And I think that's the whole reason why I pursued personal development, why I pursued spirituality, was to ease my suffering. That's all that it's ever really been. I've been searching for this place to land that finally, like, everything would vanish, everything would go away. I'd have no more suffering, no more longing for something else. But I'm starting to believe that that may be an illusion. And really, I really realize that adding things on to myself is not the way. That's all I've always been trying to do. I've been trying to replace the inner feelings of suffering and depression and anxiety with band-aids, with meditation, with eating right and exercise and discipline and watching the podcasts, watching the talks, reading the books, gaining more knowledge, gaining more insight, taking the right supplements. And it's all just been like a band-aid stacked on top of all of the trauma response and the suffering and the depression underneath it. I've been trying to mask it with something. I've been trying to build like this scaffolding around the stuff that I've been trying to avoid, try to run from, try to escape from. And that's just not simply not the answer. If you can't just, mask the trauma with good habits and good traits. And the real realization that I'm coming to is that it's not about adding, it's about subtracting, it's about taking away all of the stuff that you've piled on top of that darkness, that void within you that you're trying to escape from, or you're trying to overcome, that feeling that you don't want to face in yourself. A lot of us search for happiness through material things, through money, through ambition, success, whatever that is to you, thinking that we're gonna achieve all of the things that make us feel better inside when we have the money, or we have the business, or we have the lifestyle. And many of you have heard this already. A lot of people do that. They pursue it and they find out that it's not there. It's still not there. The feelings are still there. The money, the material possessions, none of that did anything to quell the void that's within us, the suffering that's within us, the anxiety, the depression, the overthinking. And so we keep stacking all this stuff, this scaffolding all around us. And I'm telling you, we just got to peel it off. We got to start taking stuff out of the bag, because we're walking around this world going to the next thing, putting these things into our backpack. And the heaviness of it, the weight is starting to bog us down. And what we really need to do is we need to peel things away from us. We need to get rid of things. Like for me, I had to get rid of my vices, all of the things that I've been too much of a coward to let go of. I had to get rid of my addictions, the things that I knew that were truly holding me back. And that has made all of the difference. And the reason I couldn't do it is because I couldn't see my future without the things that I loved so dearly. things that gave me feel good feelings, things like drugs and alcohol and, doom scrolling and just searching for pleasure all the time. But once I finally let those vices go, I was actually able to see the change. And addiction is not just substances. Addictions can be thoughts, concepts, insight, too much searching and seeking. We're always constantly trying to grab at things. But we can't intellectualize this. That's the problem. You can't intellectualize your suffering. You can, but you can't solve the problem by intellectualizing it, because it's all just concepts, and we get addicted to concepts and insight and thinking. What's next? What's next after this? This didn't do it. I need somewhere to be. And that's the other thing. We got to get rid of the thinking. Because thinking is just thoughts, and thoughts are made of words. And words are just made up things that we use. It's language that we use to describe the ineffable. And that ineffable feeling is what happens when we peel everything away from us, all of the baggage, and we just sit with ourselves, and we sit with that discomfort and that pain and that suffering. And we accept it for what is. It is what it is, and once we accept that, it dissolves away, and we actually find out what we were looking for. It's the here, it's the now, it's us in the moment, thinking about the future, not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, and not using words to come up with explanations for all these concepts and ideas and insights and all of the next things that we need to jump onto to make us feel better. It's not found anywhere. It's already here. We just have all of this bullshit built up around the trauma inside of us. And we need to undo the scaffolding. We need to take down the fucking building materials and let it all go. And you hear this from different parts of the world, different people, different belief systems, Christians, Christians who have finally just had enough, and they've finally put their faith into God and to let it, take the baggage off their shoulders and drop to their knees and surrender, let it all go. It was never in the pushing and the grinding and the trying to survive. It was always here. It was just, sometimes we just have to go through that process, I guess. Sometimes things just have to run its course. It's like an addict searching for peace at the bottom of a bottle. But it's not until that addiction breaks them down in their life down, until they lose everything, that they hit rock bottom, that they finally surrender to it and choose the life that they know is meant for them, rather than the one that is keeping them dull and numbed and disconnected from the world. Same thing with spiritual seeking. We do the meditations. And while we do the meditations and we get deeper, the thoughts subside a little bit and we start to feel better. But the moment you stop doing it, it all floods back in. We're just putting Band-Aids. We're just treating the symptoms. But the only way to really get to the root and to change is to drop all of that expectation of landing somewhere, finding yourself somewhere. What are you if you take the language away from something? What are you if you don't have a future concept of self and a past concept of self? What if you got rid of all of your past history and all of your ambitions for the future? What are you in this moment now without language? Don't answer it with words. It's a feeling, it's spaciousness, it's silence, it's right now. It's the wind blowing. It's the hot sun beating down on my skin. It's my voice echoing through these rocks in this little canyon that I'm standing in. It's the present moment, and being only with the present moment, and subtracting all of the other bullshit That is not necessary. That is only just fabrications of your mind, narratives, stories, concepts made up of words. And words are just made up to describe something ineffable. So stop searching. Undo the scaffolding. Peel back the layers, drop the masks, and be in the moment, be in the now with no words or concepts. And you'll start to understand that there was nothing ever to become. It was always there. But we've just been building up these layers and shells all around us, and it's time to peel them back. It's time to let them go.